Anyway, I'm cutting up. So we're broadcasting live back. We have the podcast going on. Get it? I don't get tired. It's the weekend, baby. We are back in the building. Thank y'all for broadcasting with me. This is the podcast live. This is the section where I take my podcast show and broadcast it live in the making. So I am making a podcast right now for those that are in Facebook, YouTube, Periscope that is watching this broadcast right now. So if I don't be able to speak directly to you, to your comment, I will try to catch it when I get off the live because I have multiple monitors running cameras and everything. And I'm doing all this all alone. So that is the challenge. But today we got something great we want to talk about, and I'm going to be talking about this company that I own called Cocreate Digital. I founded this company back in 2018, or created the concept, started building a company in 2019, and I'm going to talk about how this company can help you build a better business. But before we get to that, let's go do some of the things I call pay the bills. So first of all, if you listen to the podcast, don't forget to click subscribe. If you're on the social platforms, click and subscribe. Make sure that you are following us because we would love for you to complete the journey to success with us. Lastly, I will want to talk about these books I have that are out. I am the author of 2 books. One is called Got Clientele. That is my first book. I'm really proud of that book because that was the first one out the gun. And a lot of people helped edit that thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really, truly proud of that one. Got Hustle is a little bit different. Got Hustle more attacks the mindset of an entrepreneur and talking about the things that you need to do to be serious about your small business endeavors or pushing to your big business processes. So let me always put my disclaimer down about business because people say, oh, here go another person talking about business trying to get rich. Business in my mindset and the way I teach it and talk to people, it's about achieving goals, accomplishing things, bringing your solution to the market so that way you can solve a problem for the people. If you have that genius and intelligence to solve some kind of issue that's in your community, in your online space or wherever, then you should be able to profit from your genius, right? But at the same time, you know, money does come with it. So there's ups and downs. It's not all about money, but it is about achieving the goals that an entrepreneur set out to have. So last but not least, my newest book that I wrote, it's called Got Schemes. Got Schemes talk about digital entrepreneurship. If you digitally hustling, it gives you innovative ways that we are and will be moving forward in 2021 to build businesses and achieve goals. I started writing that book back in 2019. I think that's when it was. Yeah, 2019 maybe. And completed that book, so we have that book popping. Now, let's get off into the things that we are here for. So welcome, thank you for joining me. Again, if you are out there in Facebook, not Instagram, YouTube, Periscope world, and you are seeing this and I'm not acknowledging you, it's not intentional. I just have too much going on to try to be able to address the comments at this stage of the process. So we will deal with them in the aftermath of the show broadcasting, or you can always direct message me. Now, I'm going to move into what I'm talking about. How does Cocreate? First of all, let's talk about what Cocreate is. Cocreate is a content creation studio. It is created to create educational content for digital entrepreneurs and marketers using podcasting and video marketing. Somebody say, well, why are you talking about podcasting and video marketing? Because that is the way that the technology is going. That is also the way that the marketing revolution is going. Video marketing. I started doing video marketing way back when I was a child. I started doing commercials and things as a young kid, a young man in a studio recording albums, doing things like that, rapping, rocking. You know, I moved into video production, personal hands-on around 21 years old. We started shooting our own TV commercials for my, I don't know what business that was, second or third business. Bought cameras, started shooting, started editing. Then Katrina happened. By that time, I was getting some assistance because I had a little money, so I was getting assistance to produce commercials. But after Katrina, we went out there. The prices was too high. I didn't have the same connections, so I started buying more cameras, more camera equipment, and I learned about video marketing video creation in depth before the birth of YouTube. Then by the time YouTube came, we was jumping on YouTube, marketing our business and things. So that's 07 somewhere. So My history, let me tell you a little bit about me, because people want to know, why should I listen to Cash Parrish? Well, I started out in business school, in high school at the age of about 16, where I took my first business class. I opened up several failed businesses and attempts, had a lot of partnership, bad blood, breakups, fires, hurricanes. I've had people throwing bricks through the window, bad reputation online, all kind of things like that happened as a result of you trying entrepreneurship. So then when we finally got to some success, boom, Katrina flooded us out, washed us away. I moved to Columbus, Georgia in 2005 and took my $4,400 FEMA check and built the business out there to the tune of $2 million in sales. So I'm saying that to say, all throughout that process, I learned digital marketing, brand development, digital entrepreneurship, search engine optimization, website development. There's so many different hats because we was a small business, so we really had to buckle down and learn things. So I'm a life learner. I get into books, read books, YouTube videos, consume courses, classes, take certifications. I do a lot to keep afloat because, again, we're still a small business and we want to stay up with modern technology. The things they're learning in Silicon Valley, we would like to know those things here in New Orleans so we can be profitable. So I'm an author, a speaker, and an educator. It's primarily what I do. I market and write marketing strategies and business strategies and help develop business. When I call myself a business architect, that is because I help people build the infrastructure inside their company, systems, job titles, positions, things like that. So I do a lot of writing and a lot of talking, just to make a long story short. But how can Cocreate help you? So first and foremost, let's dive into the marketing aspect. We're helping you create a better business by using marketing. Marketing can help you get to the point. So marketing is not sales. Sales is not promotions. Promotions is not branding. They all are separate categories and separate entities or separate things inside of your business. So we're going to dive into it. And I'm going to skim a few things because I'm just trying to give you the history or the birth of Cocreate and how it helps. So we teach marketing, we teach education, and we sell educational products, starting out with books. That's our first 6 months run with this company. Then we're going to we're going to launch, I was going to say release, but we had startup entrepreneurship we was dealing with Proceed Startup Society and things like that. But we really want to stick with digital content creation and digital marketers. So we're going to re-up some content, bring out some new content, and have that content on a monthly membership site where you can subscribe and get into that content. And then our fourth phase of business will be where we roll out a marketing agency to assist people in maybe arenas like the political arena or things like that. Now, why am I telling you all of this business? Because it's very beneficial to you and to the success of your company. If you understand that you have to roll your business out in phases, same as I did. Our first phase was a content creation studio prior to COVID. So COVID kind of crippled us and put us to the point where we could not safely produce content with multiple different people in and out, cleaning, using microphones and things like that in a closed building without ventilation. So we switched to our second stage of our model. Your business model. So for those who don't understand what a business model is, that is 9 key components to operation of a business. And one of those things is going to deal with the customers. Another stage is going to deal with the products or the solutions or the things that you have like that. There's going to be customer relationships, key activities, so many different things. You will have to look it up. I'll do another video on it. I did several videos in the past on it. But a business model is not just a terminology that we use. It is actual a tool. It is an actual tool that you use to build your business with. So what am I talking about? When you have a clay model or you have an airplane model, it is a small version of something bigger. So ideally, what we want to create is a model that we can have to duplicate our business over and over and over again, right? So that's what we are trying to work on, a business model. And when you have a business model, you and I, none of us can take the great grand business we have in our head and stretch it out in one launch. You have to roll it out in phases and pieces. That way you can control it, you can handle it, you can learn from your mistakes on a smaller scale. Even if you're rolling out a new app. So I worked in the tech industry for a while, so use it like an app. When you see Facebook have a new feature, some people get it, some people don't. YouTube have a new feature, some people are allowed to use that feature, some people are not. iOS, which is Apple, have a new feature, and Android doesn't get the feature. They roll, even major tech companies with billions of dollars, they roll things out in a small scale. They may call that an alpha test, a beta test before they launch to the rest of the world. That is important because you and I have to have the same mentality. If we try to do too much too fast, how people in the hood say, boy, you're doing the most. You know what I'm saying? You're doing too much. You got to slow it down, break it into stages. Now, I know and you know and we all know that we got great ideas and we have a big, grandiose plan, a robust plan, but we cannot launch the whole app, the whole website, the whole store. Sometimes you may have to start off, hey, man, we just sell handbags. Man, we just sell handbags and shoes now. Our next stage is handbag, shoes, and then makeup. You roll it out in phases, and you can't let peer pressure or other people or the 1-2 clients asking for something. You have to stick to your guns and understand how to roll it out. Cash, how is this helping? Because these are the lessons that Cocreate Digital, and these are the lessons that you're going to learn in depth. Why you have to do it that way, because I can't go into the whole lesson now. But it's phases that roll out. That works better for your marketing budget, your advertisement, your public relations. Your messaging becomes clearer. Your mind becomes clearer. Your target audience becomes clearer. But if you are selling too many products to too many different people with not a big enough budget and a big enough team, we got pure chaos. That'll crash your business, not because your product wasn't good, not because you wasn't a genius at creating a great company or a great idea or a great storefront. You have done too much too fast. So that is the first thing, your business model. What is your model about? Who is it about? How are you going to deliver that that product to the person with that problem, or that solution to the person with that issue? How are we going to deliver that? And what is it? What is the bare bones minimum that we could launch with, right? Now, let me get into traditional marketing, because that's the point I'm trying to, first, after you understand your business model and what product you have and what people you're selling it to, those are the beginning stages of marketing. Now you're going to go into the traditional marketing. I'm going to tell you that is dead. Traditional marketing. Cash, what's traditional marketing? Well, when I started hustling way back in the game, I feel old now when I be talking about it. Like, I was out here running a business in 96, you know what I'm saying? Jumped off the porch. Me and my brother opened up. That's why I took my business class in 96. Me and my brother invested into a car wash, barbershop, beauty salon, and a record label, all in 97, 98, in those eras. Well, in those eras, you could print up some business cards and flyers. You could go to the radio and you could get some sponsorships or give some, donate some money to get your name printed on some things for a sponsorship, or you can get some flyers and go flyer all the cars and stuff. Well, that marketing, somebody say, well, you believe it's dead? Well, I'm going to tell you it's dead compared to what. So if you ever thought about how the heck did people go from having a small tech company out their garage to a multi-billionaire company, it seems like overnight to you, because they started playing a different game. And now that's what I'm talking about. Traditional marketing is dead when it's compared to what's going on in 2020. If you have a 1997 marketing strategy of flyers, business card. First and foremost, when somebody asks me for a business card, I automatically be like, I am not doing business with that person. I cannot do it, because I know that if they want a business card, they old school. They're not going to understand the game I'm dropping, what I'm talking about. Cash, that's too much. You too, y'all over the place. I don't get it. I don't follow. I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? I got to work with people who mind is clicking and moving fast, life learners, people who are always on the go trying to get it because they could keep up. Somebody asking me for a flyer to come to my business, say, bro, the average person out here says, say, bro, well, shoot me a text or hit me on, you on Facebook, what's your Facebook? You on Instagram, what's your Instagram? You on Snap, what's your Snap? You know what I'm saying? That's the average person that I do business with. They moving like that. It doesn't matter if they 55, or if they 22. The average person I gotta rock with, they understand that they want to communicate and connect with me, not on a flyer so they can read it and get my phone number and call my phone, but they want to, hey, I'm gonna shoot you something, information. Even when people, many times I be talking to people say, email me. I'm like, well, we talking on Facebook right now. Why would I email you? Well, yeah, bro, go and send me an email. I decided a long time ago I'm not doing business with that person. Somebody said, well, emails is, man, how many emails do you get by the hundreds or by the thousands that you don't answer? How many people is in the inbox or the spam box that you don't, you give your email to the Burlington Coat Factory and to Walgreens and stuff, and you don't really want that information from them. You just want the 10% discount that they was offering for you to sign up. So that is the mentality. I don't do business with people who want to email me all day. I deal in real time. You want to talk? Let's get on instant messenger, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, Instagram. Let's go direct messaging. Say what you got to say. Many people, hey, Cash, I need to talk to you. Say what you got to say. The time is money. In you in the DMs, say what you got to say. Well, I need to holler at you. What do you need? Man, we need to chat. Okay, well, I'm going to talk to you later. You know what I'm saying? Why? That's relationship marketing. But let me get back on track. Talking about traditional marketing versus nowadays we have digital marketing, which will be using micro-targeting. Now, if you're not understanding what micro-targeting is, so first and foremost, that's using the consumer data, which Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all of those companies already have the consumer data. That's why we tell you back when you write a marketing plan or marketing strategy, you need to understand your demographics and your psychographics, because your job is to get it in alignment with Facebook's system or YouTube system. That way you can create, I don't want to go too far too fast, but you can create the right messaging, the right piece of content to go right with that market, right? Now, why am I saying that? Because micro-targeting is going to use a smaller segment where you take a group called a market, and you take that bigger group and you break it down into a small piece. And that small piece is a segment. Your job, my job, is to try to survey your potential customer. Now, I didn't say your exact customer, because some people just starting out, they don't even have customers. So your job is, if you think you know 10 people on Facebook that would love your product because you see them on companies similar to your product, your job is to try to have that conversation with them so that way you could get a survey done. The survey don't need to necessarily go to them, but you need to ask certain questions over and over to a group of people till you find who identifies with what you have, or you use that information to create a new messaging and a new strategy and a new way to target, right? So it's going to deal with surveying. It's going to deal with what's the word I want to say? Predictive behavior, predictive marketing, but that's micro-targeting. So, Cash, you're going too far, too fast, you're giving me too much. Look, man, micro-targeting is what you and I have to do, because there's a difference from creating mass communication versus singular communication. You understand? You don't want to be creating massive communication using it for Facebook, especially if you're spending money. If you're doing it for free, you could test your luck. But if you're spending money, you want to be able to justify that dollar for that creative that you have, for that meme that you have, then justify the money that you spent in advertisement, right? So let's go to this. I said all that to say we don't create content for just anyone. We don't create content for everyone. We create content. At Cocreate Digital, we teach you how to create content for someone. Somebody said, what does that mean? That means we can teach you how to create less content and get more of an impact from that less content, because the content is now designed with. So let's talk about, there's a thing called ethos, pathos, and logos. These are types of content you can create. Pathos will be more of an emotional content. Logos will be more of logical content. So I might start putting some statistics on this screen that says, hey, look, 80% of all small businesses fail, in the first 5 years. That's a fact. I'm going to put that fact on there because you're a logical person. I got to appeal to your logic, right? Ethos is going to be something that's more of a person that you know, like, and trust. If Michelle Obama come out here and tell you who to vote for, you rock with Michelle Obama. You trust her. She's an influencer. She can inspire you with her words because she has trust factor that she's lending to whatever she's endorsing. Right? Oh, that's why when a public speaker or like somebody like myself, when I came on, I try to give you a little background on who I am because I need you to not dismiss me just because you never heard of me. Not dismiss me because you don't like how I look. You want to see my background and hear a little bit about me so you can make a conscious decision. Do you trust them? Should that person be qualified? Are they qualified, and should they be teaching you something or expressing something to you? So now the last one I talked about, I said ethos, I said pathos, and then logos. So we covered those three. Yeah, so those are different ways you can create your content. Now, it's so much more about creating content. Some commercials are designed emotional. No, I don't think I talked about that. So pathos would be more emotional, and that would be more engaging, something that you could relate to. That's why I said you gotta go back to the psychographics and understand the demographics and the psychographics of a man. If you understand that, you know which kind of commercial or which kind of creative will make him move. Is it gonna be something logical where he gotta think about it and look at numbers and analytics and figures? Is it going to be something that's going to be more emotional where you say Black Lives Matter, look all of these videos, they people messing over black people, and I just want to get my picket sign and go out there in the streets and test something up, and that content gonna make you move? Or is it gonna be somebody saying, calm down, we're gonna get this together, I'm in charge now, follow me, somebody who you know, like, and trust, and you choosing to go that route? Different types of commercials because they have different intent. Those different intents is going to motivate or not motivate. It's going to be created. So let's say this. Our job is not to convince somebody. Our job is to, I'm about to say another word. Don't want to say that. Our job is to persuade somebody to move them into our direction. Right now, I'm broadcasting live. There's probably one or two people on each platform. I don't know. Can't see it. Don't care. The goal is not to reach everyone, but some one person, and then we're going to find 100,000 just like that one person. The people that are watching the videos, engaged, in tune, those are the individuals that we're going to keep on targeting, finding out about until we can find more like them and create the content ideally that they love to persuade that person to go the direction of like, subscribe, share, download, click, purchase, buy. That is the game. And that's easier done when you understand digital marketing and you're using that on your journey to success and your advertisement or content marketing strategy. So again, we're not creating content for everyone, but someone specific. You want to talk your message to someone that identifies with it. And these are things we'll teach you at Cocreate. I'm skimming it. These subjects are deeper than that, but I am skimming it just so I can hopefully give you something of a value. Now, so one of the things we talk about here is conversions. If you and I do not have a conversion, it's over for us. A conversion is goods for gold. That's the problem that the people have, and we sell them a product or a service. You feel me? Something that we convert, something that we can change. I'm not into the personal branding thing. So a lot of people talk about, well, you got to get your personal brand. That's if you want to be famous, if you want to be an entertainer, if you want to be a online personality, that's why I talked about creating content that sells. This is what this company does. If you're just trying to get your reputation up, you don't have anything to sell. You can't spend money if you're not making money. So we try our best to focus on businesses that is designed to generate revenue. Some people they wake up just to be YouTube famous. They have 1 million followers and they don't know how to convert or monetize, So they're selling you a bunch of other, links and subscriptions and stuff for other people's company because they actually truly don't have a product. Well, that's cool and all, but I just don't deal with those type of companies because that's not what I'm into. Personal branding is cool and there's nothing wrong with personal branding, but I deal with companies that sell products or services, something that is not based around a human. Now, let me tell you why I say that. Because when you deal with an artist, if an artist is hot, you dealing with a creative is hot, one day they don't be hot no more. That client is over with. That one day they say something wrong online, that whole reputation they used to have is over. People don't like them no more, know them no more, trust them no more. That relationship is fickle from the start. Now, should you say, well, Cash, that sounds like, you judging. I'm not judging. I just got to make a living. You got to make a living. And we need a little bit more stability than somebody's reputation as a air personality. You see, people get kicked off the air many times, every time, all the time. You see? So I'm saying that to say, so that's personal branding. Personal branding is where you take your identity, you get it out there. I'm Cash Paris. I got the Cash Paris books, Cash Paris t-shirts, Cash Paris websites, the Cash Paris YouTube channel. I got the Cash Paris show. That I don't really like to deal with companies like that when we're talking about creating content that sells. We're usually talking to a digital entrepreneur and a marketer, to people who seller content or the people who help the content sell. So that's what I'm mostly focused on. So I'm just saying that because I like a little transparency and a little clarity. Why your message sound like it is? Because I'm talking to a certain group of people. I ain't talking to everybody. You can't talk to everybody. Not on the first campaign. This is a campaign. This is a run. We're defining co-creating. We're defining a audience to say this is all we want. People like this. If you're not like this, that's no harm, no foul. We just want people that is just like this because people like this is going with our business direction, going with our business journey. They are on our business model and our strategy to generate sales, right? To generate revenue. If you are out here moving content just to be moving content, making content just to be making content, that is a hard job. It's creating live broadcasts takes time to write them, to strategize them, to know what you're going to say, to come up with your speech in your mind, to sit down to edit, to create graphics and all of those things. Even when you finish your live broadcast, it's not over. Then you got to take it, save it, back it up, make sure you have it, evergreen content, remarket it, reposition it, break out some memes to promote it, to tell people go check it out in the replay, share this, sharing is caring. You got to do a lot of work because you got to market your content or content marketing. So that's why we're trying to tell you it's a lot of work. If you just think it's going to be easy, I just post to Instagram or Facebook and I'm going to blow up. That's not necessarily true. And it depends on what your strategy is and your theory. So what we try to do over here is through the education, through our clients, through the people we have dealt with in the past, we sit you down and talk to you. What is your goal? What is your vision? No, don't do that. Go this route if this is your goal and your vision. That's the wrong tactic for that vision. That's the right tactic, right strategy. This is how you get your results, right? So these are the things that we are working on. So I'm going to talk about a few other things because I covered traditional marketing. I covered digital marketing using micro-targeting. I talked about creating content for someone, not everyone. I talked about we got to have conversion that's good for goals. So I'm going to be talking to you now about free marketing versus paid marketing. So what is free marketing? I consider free marketing anytime that an individual is posting on social media, Facebook, and places like that for free. They're trying to generate traffic and awareness from their post. Now, let's talk about what is awareness. Awareness is when a customer or a client, let's not even say a customer, let's say an audience member. Awareness is where audience member on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever they're viewing, they're in the audience, and they become aware of the product you put in front of their face. You put it in front of their face by them scrolling on the timeline, and boom, up jumped your post. So that is awareness. They became aware of your brand, your product, your service. That is brand awareness, right? Now, when you talk about a sales funnel, if you're not thinking about a sales funnel, and this is not no magical thing, we understand that everybody goes through a process of dating. You decide you want to be with a man or a woman, you have to go through the introduction process. You first have to become aware of them. Your homegirl gonna say, girl, I know a guy. Or your partner gonna say, bro, I know a little chick. You know what I'm saying? Or you're gonna be in a club and this person gonna be walking through the club and speak to you. Something you have to become aware of them before you can engage with them. And that's a process from awareness to your exchange of your phone number or your social media pages to the point that they get something. So let me walk you through it. So I'm gonna walk you through the stages of a sales funnel. It's awareness. Then it's going to be lead capturing is in that awareness. Then you want to do like a nurturing that lead. After that nurturing of the lead, they want to go through the consideration process. They want to go to the buying stage. From the buying stage, they want to move down to the support stage. From the support stage, move down into repeat buyer. After repeat buyer, then they want to go to the referral section, if I caught all of those correctly. So it should be an average of 7. Now, some funnels going to have something different. Some sales processes going to have something different. Some may be longer, some may be shorter. But these are the concepts of what a customer goes through to buy something. They first become aware of it. They secondly, decide to engage with the business. And thirdly, the business starts to market to them to what we call nurture the lead. Now, I'm still on free marketing versus paid marketing. When you are trying to nurture a lead, you first have to have the lead. So getting followers on social media is not necessarily a lead. A lead has to take action. Action meaning they have to engage with you. They have to decide, what's the word I want to say? And I'm jumping ahead of myself. They have to move by saying, hey, download this file. They take a step. Hey, send me your phone number and I'll send you something. Take a step. And I said I'm going to use a thing in the club because if you talk, let's say, for instance, if I'm in a club, I walk up on a woman and I start shooting my shot, right? Hey, how you doing, sweetheart? Whoop, whoop, whoop. And can I buy you a drink? Bam. I'm going to give her a free drink because my goal is to get the exchange of the phone number first step. If I can talk to her, offer her a drink, get the phone number, now it's a lead capture. I captured information from the potential customer to be a lead. Right? Now that lead, I can start sending her texts after the club, early in the morning, the very next day. I'm trying to build what we call a relationship because what's my next goal? My next goal is to try to ask her out on a date. So I want her to consider it when we get to that stage. So I'm hitting her with information, telling her, oh, I like to cook and I travel the world and I don't know, I like yachts and cigars or something. I'm just telling her things that I think she may be interested in. And one day I want to get married and have a dog or something. You know, you're telling her all the things that you think may work because you're getting to know her. So you respond with information that's conducive to her, someone, not everyone. You want to get to know her and have the right information to nurture that lead, right? So as you nurturing that lead, the next thing is, would you like to go out on a date sometime? Bam. If that's the consideration stage, what is she going to consider from? She's going to consider from all the other information that you gave her earlier. Do she think you're crazy and don't want nothing to do with you? Or do she think you are a decent individual? Or do he think you're a decent individual that's worth the shot of taking you out? So those are some baby steps in the sales process, right? Talking about the nurturing. Now, how does that help free marketing or paid marketing? Well, if you didn't capture the lead in no form or fashion, you're trying to nurture and you're trying to create awareness and you're trying to create a consideration process all on Facebook. That's almost impossible to do. It's possible, but let's say when I say almost impossible to do, you got to remember when I'm speaking, I want to address it this way. We talk about consistency because a business model. How do we do the same thing over and over and over and over over again. How does it overturn and overturn? If we can't get the same principle to work every single time, then or even let's say at a 50% the time, then we doing something wrong. Man, I'm gonna just go post on Facebook. Well, how do you know what stage when a person comes to their phone? How do you know the person who saw your post at what stage of the buying process are they? Did they jump in to get your information because one day they want to buy from you, or did they just think you was funny and you posted a good video? You and I would need to know where they at on a buying journey or the sales process before we could send them the right post. Make sense? So that's why a lot of times you post and posts fall flat on, fall flat. There it is, no likes, no subscribes, no sales, because you didn't capture a lead, nurture the lead, and build that one-to-one relationship with that person. But that's something we'll teach you how to do at Cocreate, how to do those things. So that way you're making the right content to talk to the person at the right time. It's rare that you could be in the clubs, meet a girl, hey, how you doing, sweetheart? Want to go on a date? You're jumping too far in the cycle at the wrong time in the wrong place. So you have to build. You have to go through the stages, right? Go through the process. Now, I'm going to say a few things before I wrap it up. We have to focus on the action step. But before I talk about action steps, I want to talk about entertainment. It's entertainment or free content versus paid content. And in free content, I call that entertainment. Are you here to entertain people or nurture people and close the deal? If you want to be a personal brand that's entertaining people, you can do that. And a lot of people have entertained the people up until the point they grew a large enough audience and figured out something to sell them. But that might have took them 2, 3, 4 years. Some people never figured it out. They just kept on getting harassed to make more content until they burnt them out and they quit because there was no profits or no sales coming, but a lot of content takes a lot of hours to create. Again, you have to understand how deep it is and how much work it is to create content, right? To figure out, I'm going to do that for a year or two of no money. So that will burn you out, and that's not what you want. I see that happen all the time. People just get tired of creating content because it actually doesn't do any benefit to their business, and they could do more with their business by word of mouth than they can actually creating stuff to post on social media. So I'm saying that to say, so the goal is not to entertain the people, but the goal is to find out how you're going to use your social media page and platform. Are you trying to do nurturing? Are you trying to do awareness? Are you trying to do lead capture? What are you trying to do with that social media page and how you're going to build it up? What are you trying to do with that YouTube channel or your website? What is the goals of each one of those properties that you own? Because they all have to have a different part of the sales process. Maybe you might want to meet them on Facebook, but you want to get them off. That's why I talk about it got to have an action. You want to get them off Facebook as soon as possible. Not get them off Facebook like they're going to quit Facebook, but get them off by giving you their WhatsApp, their direct messaging, some way you could communicate with them. Emails. I'm a person that don't like emails. If you email me, you probably won't get one sale. I just don't like emails. So that's why we talk about you have to understand the person, their psychology, their behavior, their demographics. You have to understand all of that to create the right content. Now, the goal is to get them off of social media. And what kind of content are you going to create for them? Well, direct response content. Now, direct response content means you want them to take more actions. You want them to take steps every time they reach a piece of your content offline. That's the content. So the magic happens in the DMs. The magic happens in the emails. The magic happens offline. People think the magic all happens on Facebook, Instagram, and the magic, somebody could be getting that bag, running a great company, and never hardly have content on their timeline. They run targeted advertisement to micro-targeted people or groups. They have predictive behavior. They understand who they're creating content for what group, and boom, they create the right content, and magic happens offline. Magic happens on the back end, and the commercial ad stops running, and you never knew that person ever had an ad on because it was a targeted advertisement to speak to a certain someone, and you wasn't that someone. You know what I'm saying? So what kind of content do we need to convert Well, those are all the things that you're going to learn at Cocreate Digital. Again, Cocreate Digital, my company, we teach business education. If I could say it better, we teach you how to create content that sells. And it is an educational studio that we create content out of for educational purposes to help you understand how to do digital marketing and digital entrepreneurship. So we help entrepreneurs and marketers create content. We teach you the right content at the right part of the process. So what's the word I want to tell you? I want to say product, message, market, fit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to tell you. Product, message, market, fit. How all of those things fit like a hand in the glove, so that way you can see what conversions and you can get the goods to convert into the gold. So I hope that wasn't too long as I was broadcasting. To those people out there, don't y'all forget I am the author of a book, 3 books actually, and I would like y'all to check those 3 books out. The first one is Got Clientele. That is on sale right now. You can get that, get a hot copy of that. Secondly, there is Got Hustle. I would prefer that you buy like a combination deal of those, and you can have them all and get into the mind of Cash Parish. And you can also hit me directly if you have anything you want to talk about, chat about, and any topics you want me to talk about on a live pod, go on and drop that in there. I would be grateful for actual engagement in the people that want to hear me speak on specific topics. Last but not least is Got Schemes. You can get that product. It is live as well. And again, if you have trouble with getting anything, you contact me directly on the social media platform of your choice, and I will respond to you as soon as possible. Last but not least, visit our website, www.cocreatenola.com. I'm Cash Parish. I help you create the content that sells. And until we broadcast again, y'all subscribe to our Facebook, our Instagram, our YouTube, our Periscope, and any other place that we are on, and we'll be right here waiting to give you the best of the content. To all those people out in the podcast world, sharing is caring. Get this podcast out and share it out to all your people. We on every major platform. Y'all have a great night. Thank you and goodbye.